Welcome again guys to another video. We're checking out some hardcover manga today, bringing out some more great underrated manga. Now the manga I'm covering in today's episode isn't exactly super underrated. I mean, it's pretty well known for the most part, especially for like the more OG fans, or if you guys are fans of like 90s manga or 90s anime. So this is going to be something that's straight up your alley. It's actually a special edition that's been published by none other than Kodansha Comics, KC Comics. Now, which manga do I speak of? Well, that manga is none other than Chobits. As you can see here, it's a pretty hefty hardcover volume, and it is the 20th anniversary edition, as it says at the bottom here, if you guys can see that. Okay, well, there we go. 20th anniversary edition Chobits. This is volume 1. Now, I believe there are about 4 or 5 volumes of this. I don't have all of them to show you guys, but I did get the first one and I wanted to cover it because I am a fan of hardcover and I like to collect short manga series. So this was definitely something right up my alley. In fact, this was actually gifted to me. So I was like, yo, this is something I do want to finish collecting, you know, since there's only a couple of volumes of it. So let's start off briefly with a summary of the story. Now, as far as I've read, I haven't read the entire manga. In fact, I haven't even watched the original anime. I have seen bits of it, like clips of it here and there, but so from what I've read so far, the story revolves around this main protagonist who's poor and he's looking for a job, a stable job. He's a a university student, college student or whatever, and he happens to come across this girl who's like wrapped up in bandage or something in the garbage. He finds her in like the garbage bins or something, I don't know. But this story does take place a little bit in the future because these humans, or the girl that he found anyway, is more like kind of like a robot, I guess. So he does end up taking her home, of course, and she ends up, she's like this beautiful young girl, and I'm assuming he'll eventually, fall in love with her or something. Maybe there's some romance, but from what I've read so far, there is a lot of fan service stuff, so I can guarantee that there's definitely a lot of fan service, from what I've seen so far. It is just another feel-good anime. I feel like I'm covering more slice of life or feel-good anime, so like lately, especially with my last video as well. But this was something that's definitely, I had moments where I was like, like I was actually like visibly smiling, so I do think if you're a fan of that genre, definitely check it out. Might be something that's worth picking up for you guys, even more so if you're into collecting shorter manga series. Again, this is a re-release. I believe this compiles 2 volumes. So let's move on to the publication quality. And like I mentioned previously, KC Kodansha Comics strikes again. Their first, like my first experience I had with this publisher, which was with, I believe, the first box set I covered of Quintessential, which was like a year or 2 ago now, but yeah, that was my first experience with them, and I did notice some of the volumes weren't like evenly. The first 3 volumes were a certain size, like they were smaller than the last 3 volumes. I don't know, there was some inconsistency with sizes with this publisher, but they've redeemed themselves, I'll be honest with you. They have redeemed themselves. I'm enjoying more of their newer releases, this included. Now, the publication quality of this does resemble Parasite. If you guys didn't already notice, Parasite was also published by KC Comics. The design, just the general design of the hardcover and everything, the feel, the look, really heavily resembles Parasite, and you guys can see that in the preview as well. In terms of the page quality, I'm feeling the same, I'm getting the same vibes as Parasite. The one thing I do want to mention is in Chobits, they have some of the pages, like the colored pages, are like laminated, which is pretty cool. Was not expecting that. But yeah, there's a lot of color pages in this. I think there's like, I'm gonna say like at least like 10 color pages. They're like spread out throughout the volume, which is pretty sick to see, see that extra mile, that extra effort that they put in. And speaking of color pages, they look magnificent. I have 0 complaints about the color pages. They look absolutely magnificent. The coloring, the way they colored it, it has that watercolor look to it. It's very similar to the way they colored Parasite. I think it's very fitting. I like what they did here. I like, honestly, I don't really have any complaints about the, publication of the release itself. The only thing I would mention is the pricing, which is closer to $40 if you're like living in Canada. I think in US it's a little less, which is, it says in the back here, it says like $25 US, which is pretty good. I think try to look for a discount if you can, but if you can't wait, I don't blame you. It is worth the price nonetheless. It's not that expensive. For this special edition of Chobits, this 20th anniversary edition, I think they did a solid job. The only thing I would say is there's no like extras that they included. There are color pages, that's about it. There's no like, so far I haven't seen any like extra content in terms of author interviews. Like they don't really have much of that here. It's just the color pages. That's a minor complaint, it's a minor complaint. Still think it's worth picking up, still think it's worth it, for the price. I do want to grab the rest of the volumes, if possible, but yeah, guys, this is gonna be the end of the video. Thanks again for tuning in and checking out Rich Taku quality content, manga reviews. I'll try to bring more content and manga reviews. That is my aim for the next month or so. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I am Rich Taku, your host, and I'm signing off.